It is my privilege to present the following program that was inspired by the way American businesses and organizations have responded to the events of September 11th. It's part of a special series produced by Heartbeat of America called Keeping America Strong. Each program spotlights a business or organization that is helping to do exactly that, keep America strong. Having served in the United States Navy for many years, I fully appreciate the important role small and middle-sized businesses play in the very fabric of our country, and I salute the professionals who lead these companies and thus keep America strong. They are the very backbone of our free enterprise system, and today on this program, you will meet the individuals behind one such organization. I'll be back later in the program to introduce the Keeping America Strong Award. And now, let's learn more about the organization we are honoring today.
Today, the eyes and ears of the 21st century are focused on new developments, new technologies, new emerging companies. We're on the scene to bring it to you as it happens.
We anchor from our new studios in Los Angeles and then go out all over America to get to the heart of the story.
I'm Bert Tenzer.
I'm Bella Shaw.
I'm Doug Llewellyn.
I'm William Shatner, and this is Heartbeat of America. Our show focuses on corporate America, its stories, its drama, its breakthroughs. We'll be going out today to report on an organization that is impacting our lives and shaping our future. An organization that truly is the heartbeat of America.
In the 20th century, a group of future Americans led by William Shatner ventured out into the universe. The challenge? To take the American spirit and courage to the final frontier of man, outer space. It was an exciting time on television, but it was only a fantasy.
It's the challenge to unite America and to keep our economy and our country moving forward.
This has inspired Heartbeat of America to launch a special series entitled Keeping America Strong.
In the 20th century, William Shatner took us off on a voyage into the universe to experience what life is like on other planets. But now, here in the 21st century, he is back to explore what life is like right here on our own planet. This is all part of a new series that we call Keeping America Strong. And as you know, part of Keeping America Strong lies in helping Americans to live a quality way of life. And one of the best ways to achieve that is to bring music into their lives. It has been said many times that music helps us realize beauty, sensitivity, and compassion. And it is probably needed now more than ever before. So how can we bring that and more into our lives? Well, our guest today is doing that, and he's doing a lot more for people throughout their area. He has a school of music, and he takes educational music shows to schools, daycares, community centers, churches, and he provides musicians, ensembles, bands, and groups for any event, big or small, and that is just a part of it. Stay with us now as we find out more about just what it is he does and how he goes about doing it. You're going to find this very interesting. He happens to be the head, the founder, and the president of a company called the Dinky Drum Company, which is headquartered in Houston, Texas. It is a company that actually provides music education, music performance, and music entertainment. And I should point out that the gentleman you are about to meet has a very well-rounded background in music. He is a performer himself. He's played with the Scott Joplin Orchestra. He's backed up Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, Lionel Hampton he's worked with, Melba Moore, and the list goes on and on. And he's also worked with many of the jazz, rhythm and blues, and gospel groups in and around the U.S., Canada, and the Caribbean, and Houston, of course, as well. That is where he is from. His name is Samuel Dinkins III, the owner and director of the Dinky Drum Company. Nice to have you with us.
Well, thank you.
That's
Glad
quite
to
an
be
introduction.
Here. Yes, it is.
We should be playing music. All of us. The band should be here to introduce you. Tell me a little bit about what the Dinky Drum Company is. It's a lot more than what the name says.
Absolutely. We're a professional music, entertainment, education, and performance company. And our cliche or motto is providing quality musical services. And we've been doing that since 1989.
And give me an example when you say quality music services. For example, how do you do it?
I'm so glad that you asked me that. You know, a lot of times, say for example, you're having a wedding and you want a band at your event. Sometimes you call up some people and give them money and they may not show. That's not a quality musical service.
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no.
That's right.
Say you have a little boy or a little girl that's interested in learning music lessons. Well, you may come to somebody's house and they have a small corner of their living room and one drum or piano in a corner.
Right.
And they want $100 a month. That's not a quality musical service.
Okay.
We have a music school that's designed specifically for that purpose. Teaching children, teaching adults about music.
All right, let's cut this down into categories, because you do have it's education, performance, and entertainment. Let's talk about music education. You do it on a personal basis, and
Absolutely.
you do it in schools and many other areas.
Yes, sir.
All right, first off, let's talk about education personally. I'm in your area and I want to learn how to play the piano or something.
Okay.
I come to you, and what happens?
You come to me, and the first thing we do is we have you visit our facility.
Right.
So you can meet our teachers, and we have an office assistant who will give you a tour and tell you about our company, how we got started. And then we show you all the things that we will do to get you started taking music lessons. The books you have to learn from, what the costs of our fees are,
right.
And the most important thing, the studio that you'll be studying in. One of the keys that I found that is very important is we have two of everything. So if you're playing on one piano, your teacher's playing on the other piano. Then play the next one. F, G, A. F, G, good. A, B, C. If we're having drum lessons, if I'm on a snare drum, the child or adult's on the snare drum. Or if we're doing Latin percussion, here's a set of congas for me, a set of congas for you. So, but the most important thing is we teach you how to read music as well. Because a lot of people will say, okay, if I could use this table as an example, we're having a drum lesson.
Right.
Okay, Doug, play this beat for me. Then you come back and you go, all right, that's not a quality musical service, because when you leave me, is that going to be in your memory? More than likely not. But if I show you how to write those notes down and what each note means, then you might forget the little play example,
right.
But you'll go home and just like a book, you'll read the music and you say, okay, this is what Mr. Dinkins wants me to play. Dot, 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 dot. There you have it.
You know, it sounds so simple, but do you find that and I know you work with a lot of children, I assume it's easier for them to pick up than adults, but is learning to read music very difficult?
Not at all. Learning to read music is just like math. Each symbol has a number value, and each symbol has a shape or a reference to, say, a letter. A whole note is a circle. So when you look at it, the first thing I say to an adult or a youth or a child is, this is a symbol called a whole note. It looks like a circle, and it equals 4 beats. So every time you see this symbol, just count 4. Now, the most important thing is to remember that that one symbol equals 4 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on and so on.
All right, so anyway, you do teach all of that. You teach how to read music, you teach then how to play the instruments, and you do this for people of all ages, children right up to adults. It's never too late to learn?
Never. I have students who are 55 and 56 years of age. I have students who are as young as 5 and 6.
Yep.
But this is very important. I always get a parent or a grandparent who says, my child is exceptional. He loves the drums. For example, we're at church and he always wants to sit by the drums. I say that's great, but can they read a book? And that's very important. I always emphasize that the youngest that we will take a student is reading age.
Okay.
So if they understand how to read, then it's not going to be as difficult to transfer that knowledge over to reading music symbols and signs.
Okay, cool. Well, let's talk about the educational level where you go out to the community. You go out to schools and things of that.
Absolutely.
What happens? How do you do it, and what does it involve?
Well, here it is. I take rhythm sections. Rhythm section is a drummer, a piano player, a bass guitarist, and sometimes we add a vocalist or a saxophonist or a brass instrument like a trumpet. And we design musical shows with an educational component. So we'll design a show that would talk about the great Afro-American musicians, and we'll include narration and song, and the musicians and I will demonstrate these songs. Or say for kindergarten and grade school age children, they love cartoons. So we have a show we call Cartoon Jazz that we designed specifically for them. Some of their favorite melodies, and we jazz them up and we add other little variations to them so that they can understand the music but have a good time enjoying it, because not only do we want to entertain them, but we want to educate them. So I like to call that edutainment. Education and entertainment.
And you're educating them about what music can do for them.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're not there to learn how to play the instrument per se, but how to enjoy and what to get out of music. Is
Very
that right?
important. And hopefully, if we don't create musicians, we create young people and elderly people as well, or seniors, I like to refer to them, to have an appreciation for music.
It's music appreciation.
Music appreciation.
And an
Yes,
understanding about where it came from.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, the other category is you actually do music entertainment. You perform.
I am a performing musician. I'm so happy to be a performing musician. That's how this all came about. I personally began taking private music lessons at 8 years of age. And so I have taken lessons over the years through high school, through college, and just music appreciation classes that are made available for educators. And through all of this knowledge, I enjoy applying it in a professional setting with other musicians, whether they're famous people like Aretha Franklin or local artists or regional artists like I get a chance to perform with in Houston and in Texas and Louisiana and the surrounding neighboring Gulf Coast states.
So from the performance, the entertainment aspect of it, do you, for example, do you provide groups for weddings and parties and things of that nature?
Everything. Any event,
whatever.
Big or small. You know, and I also have the pleasure of working with some of America's finest jazz musicians. You know, Texas and Louisiana is a hotbed of American music. If you check the history books, a lot of our music came from those areas. And I've been so blessed to be in that cultural melting pot, if you would, where you have all of these different styles. First and foremost, American jazz, which came from New Orleans, Louisiana.
That's right.
So I get a chance to work with a lot of phenomenal musicians. I mean, the list goes on and on, you know, some of the greats that I've had a chance to perform with. And then the local musicians in Houston, they're incredible. Incredible. You know, I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
And I have traveled from Brooklyn, New York, to Los Angeles, to Chicago, to Houston. And I believe that of those 4 major cities, which are the 4 largest cities we have in America, that Houston has some of the greatest musicians who are actually from there, and they live there, and they work there. Unlike smaller towns around the country where you have an exceptional musician, the first thing they say is, I got to go to New York to make it.
That's right.
I have to go to California to make it. Well, there are a lot of great musicians who are from and who still live and work in Houston, Texas.
You know, it's very interesting. I got to ask you about these. You've got these devices sitting here on the table. What actually are these?
These are called sound shapes.
And what is that?
And a sound shape is something that I use in some of our educational performances.
Yep.
And what we do, we use rhythm and melody, because these instruments are designed so that the smaller the instrument, the higher the pitch, or the larger the instrument, the lower the pitch. So we get a chance to perform with these instruments and teach the children about rhythm.
Show me.
Well,
Give me an
let's see.
example.
Here we go. Sound shape. That's the open tone. Put your finger on the bottom. You got a closed tone. Combine the two. Then you got the sound on the rim. Right. Then let's say we add our foot and we play a rhythm. Now,
that's very good.
You are going to play quarter notes and eighth notes. I'm going to play 16th notes, and we're going to jam with the sound shape. All right? Here we go. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
So you got quarter notes?
A quarter note is
1 beat. No, that's an eighth note.
Okay.
You want 1, 2, 3, 4. So so you do that. Oh, listen at this music. This guy.
Hey, good.
And that's the ending. Hey.
All right. Well, this sounds very interesting. I mean, it's a really interesting thing you put together. And are you getting a great response in Houston?
Wonderful response. Wonderful response. We're centrally located in the city of Houston, but we are blessed to have such a metropolis. We have smaller cities that are suburban cities around the city of Houston. And by being centrally located, we're able to get access to students as far as 20 miles to our south or our north or our east or our west. And that's one of the benefits about being located in a major city. You have a large pool of people to pull from, but we want to get even more.
Well, it sounds like a great story. We'll continue.
We have been watching the operations of an organization which is doing its part to keep America strong, and we've been learning from its leaders about what they're doing to help move our country forward. This organization represents companies across our great nation that embody the spirit, dedication, know-how, and can-do attitude which has made America the great nation it is today. And now let's present the Keeping America Strong Award.
That's my honor to present our Keeping America Strong Award to Samuel Dinkins III, the owner-director of the Dinky Drum Company of Houston, Texas, for the outstanding work that he and his company are doing to help keep America strong. Samuel, it's a great pleasure to give this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to have received this. We've been working hard for so many years, and it's just wonderful to be recognized for our work and keeping America strong.
Congratulations for earning the Keeping America Strong Award, which honors innovators and leaders like you who are the heartbeat of America.
Our thanks to retired Rear Admiral Kevin Delaney for taking part in the presentation of the Keeping America Strong Award, the award that salutes small to middle-sized organizations who are helping to move America forward.
For more information on this remarkable Houston school, visit their website, dinkydrum.com.
That's it for Heartbeat of America's special edition, Keeping America Strong.
Now for a final word from William Shatner.
Well, that's it for this edition of Heartbeat of America. I'm William Shatner. Thanks for watching.